All right, welcome back to Mr. P Helps with Calculus, Unit 2, day number 10. And this is really just a review day. This is just a review of all the things we've done in the last two videos, which is our product rule, our constant multiple rule, our product rule, our quotient rule, all the basic rules for differentiation. Now, this is, like I said, this is really just a practice day where we practice all those things, but I thought I'd make a video anyway because, hey, the more practice, the better. You can see the notes that are already posted on Canvas probably, so you already see all these answers. I just want to quickly talk about each one of these. Anytime you have a constant, obviously it's going to be 0, so that takes care of these two. Remember, this is sum and difference rule, so that means you just do these all separately. So differentiate each one using the power rule separately. Remember, this becomes 0. For this one, I would multiply -7 times -14, which gives us this, and then you could either change this to this. So that's the exact same thing. Just be ready for that on the multiple choice. This question is very similar to that one. Same with this one, just fractions involved. Multiply this by 211, so 2 11s times 11 over 16, the 11s cancels out, so it's just really just 2 over 16 or 1 over 8. So it looks like we're just down to 1 over 8. 1 over 8 times x to the, remember, drop it by 1. So let me move myself so you can see the notes, and that's the reason why I got this. And then if you're going to change it to a positive, you just flip it to the bottom. All right, more practice questions. I would always change this. Remember, you don't want to, you could technically, on number 7, you could use the quotient rule, but you will get the exact same answer, but the quotient rule is going to take a lot more work. But you really could do that if you really, really wanted to. The key is that all these rules can work for pretty much anything, so you can use them to do just about anything. Any way you get to your answer is going to give you the same answer. But the easiest way is just -4 times -17 and then drop this by 1. So much easier than having to go through the quotient rule. Same thing with this. Avoid the quotient rule just by moving this to the top. By making that small little change, you can save yourself a ton of time. And time is of the essence on the AP exam. So a lot of these are exact same tricks. I've kind of gone over those. I've done an example of those. A lot of these are just fractions. It's just practice, to be honest. These two are nice and easy because they're constants. This one's also nice and easy, so a lot of these questions aren't that difficult. So we have here some product rule questions. So remember, I always do it opposite of what most calculus teachers will do. I always do first times derivative of the second plus second times derivative of the first. But it really doesn't matter if you just flip these two with these two. It's the exact same thing. You'll get the same thing in the end. But I'll do it the other way. So this one, let's see, this is two terms. We have x to the third times derivative of sine is cosine. More practice you can get with all these tricks, the easier it will be to memorize them all. Because, yeah, there's a lot of things in the end that you're going to have to memorize in this class. Then we do the second term times derivative of the first, and then it's just a matter of simplifying. And, yeah, I even take it that extra step of factoring out x squared. Once again, might not be something you see on the exam, but you have to be ready pretty much for anything. So a question like this, just be careful with all of these that you recognize that this is multiplication. This is x to the 1/2 power multiplied by all of this. Same with this one. This is this parenthesis times cosine of x. All right, so you've got a lot of practice with product rule, but in my video I didn't do a whole lot of quotient rule. And it looks like I don't have any examples. All right, looks like I didn't have any examples already pre-done, so I'm going to go ahead and I could have just done them all, but I don't think I need to do them all. I'm just going to do a couple of examples here just because we have plenty of time. So remember, so f prime of x, so it's low, d high, so the derivative of the top. Now keep in mind, I'm just going to go straight to the answer. Derivative of x squared is 2x. Derivative of -2x is -2. Minus the top, x squared minus 2x, times the derivative of the bottom, which is just 1. That's nice and easy. Over the bottom squared. Now, remember what I said in the video that I'm just going to leave this the way it is. I'm not actually going to use the FOIL method of x plus 2 times x plus 2. Just leave it alone because I can almost assure you, even though I don't really know, that the multiple choice answer will be that. It's always been all the ones that they've ever released. Now, I am going to take it that step further, and I am going to FOIL the top because the top can be simplified when you combine these two terms. This times this is 2x squared. That's first. The outers is going to be -2x. The inners is going to be 4x. 4 minus 2 is 2x. And then the last is -4. Okay, so that's that side. Minus it's, okay, 1 times anything doesn't change anything. And then I'm going to subtract. So 2x squared minus an x squared makes 1x squared. I like to cross it off once I've used it as well. 2x's minus negative 2x's, that's really plus 2x's, that's 4x. Remember, we're subtracting for all these. A negative 4 minus nothing is still negative 4. All right. It is possible that I could factor this out and just maybe I get the exact same thing. Actually, no, I don't. It actually almost came out to be the exact same thing. But it's not going to be the exact same thing. It is possible sometimes, but I usually just leave it the way it is and done. All right, same thing over here. I'll do one more. So g prime of x. So it's low. The derivative of tangent is secant squared x. You should know this by now. Minus tangent of x times the derivative of the bottom, which is just 1, over x plus 2 squared. All right, so this times this. Be honest, I don't really like simplifying because it's not really going to do much on the top. Possibly on multiple choice, you're just going to have it just the way it is. But I guess I'm going to keep going forward. X secant squared of x plus 2 secant squared of x minus tangent of x over x plus 2 squared. It really didn't make it any prettier, to be honest, than just the way it was without the 1. Would have been about the same. Yeah, but once again, you never know what you're going to get on the multiple choice answers. So it could be this, could be this. You just got to be ready literally for everything. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up right there. I know I got a couple of extra problems in here for a quotient rule. Hope everything helped, and I'll see you on the